Hello, and welcome to my Capstone Symposium presentation. My name is Tia Vontver, and the title of my poster is How Blue Carbon Can Increase the Conservation and Restoration of Eelgrass, Policy Mechanisms and Future Action. For my capstone, I worked with the Washington State Department of Natural Resources as an eelgrass blue carbon policy intern. Eelgrass is a nearshore ecosystem that provides vital ecosystem services, including blue carbon. Blue carbon is the ability of marine ecosystems to capture carbon from the atmosphere and store it. As climate change looms, the ability to remove carbon from the atmosphere has become an important tool to mitigate its consequences. Yet, eelgrass is experiencing long-term declines across Washington state. The purpose of this study was to identify if the blue carbon potential of eelgrass could be used to increase its protection. My primary research questions were, can eelgrass blue carbon incentivize its conservation and restoration in Washington state? And if so, what blue carbon policy mechanisms will most effectively increase its conservation and restoration? My primary research methods included conducting conversations with experts such as eelgrass biologists, synthesizing research publications, and developing blue carbon case studies from the Skagit and Snohomish estuaries. I have included the results from the Snohomish Estuary case study that quantifies the sediment organic carbon sequestered and stored by the Snohomish Estuary eelgrass population. This bar chart represents the potential market value in USD of eelgrass blue carbon in the Snohomish Estuary, which can be seen on the y-axis, based on the percentage of blue carbon that is stored due to eelgrass presence versus non-eelgrass related sources, which can be seen on the x-axis. The values represented by the blue bars were calculated using the price ceiling of 1 metric ton of carbon dioxide, and the values represented by the green bars were calculated using the price floor of 1 metric ton of carbon dioxide. The price ceiling and price floors were identified earlier this year by the Washington State Legislature. From this graph, we can see that the market value of eelgrass blue carbon is still very uncertain, with a potential price range from around $5.3 million to only around $400,000, although the most accurate price likely falls between these two values. To put these values into perspective, eelgrass has the potential to generate approximately 1/3 of the revenue generated by a Washington state terrestrial or forest ecosystem. Overall, these results indicate that eelgrass's blue carbon potential can be increased by conservation and restoration alone, and can, therefore, incentivize its protection. To maximize its conservation and restoration, policies that monetarily value eelgrass blue carbon should be used in cost-benefit analyses or as carbon offset credits in the carbon market to develop revenue. Although to most effectively utilize these policy mechanisms, some preconditions have to be met, including the implementation of a standard methodology for blue carbon projects, such as the Verified Carbon Standard methodology for tidal wetland and seagrass restoration, accounting for long-term environmental change, and providing funding for future blue carbon research. With increased conservation and restoration of these ecosystems, not only will climate change be mitigated, but many ecosystem co-benefits will be provided, such as climate adaptation, vital ecosystems for culturally and commercially important species, erosion prevention, and so much more. If revenue is generated through the carbon market, the Department of Natural Resources can reinvest in Washington state communities or further conservation and restoration of eelgrass. Thank you so much for joining me today. I would like to thank my site supervisors, Max Showalter and Chanka Kazorba Favarini, my faculty advisor, Sunny Jardine, all of the wonderful experts who donated their time to helping me with my project, my friends, family, and 2023 Capstone cohort. I couldn't have completed this project without your support. Thank you.